Well, welcome back YouTube. It's the Spotlight Edition. It's after work. It's Wednesday. It's November the 5th. And we're about to embark on yet another episode. This is episode 33. In my estimation, this is probably one of the most nerve-wracking episodes that I've done on this bus so far. The intent of this is to actually do the final infrastructure assessment on the propane system. Last night, after I finished recording and processing my other video, I came out here and did some more work, got everything set and staged ready for today. I wanted to start this earlier, but daytime heating caused my cooling fans on the inside to kick on, so I waited a bit. So all of this is going to be live, so to speak. I mean, I am recording it right now, but everything that you're going to see as I go through this is as it happens. I have not done any pre-flights, any pre-checks, anything like that, so we're all going to learn together what's going to happen. So at this particular point in time, let's take a walk and see what happens when I put propane in my propane system. Alright, so here we are. We're at the underbody storage where my main propane tanks are going to be. They're empty, and I'm not going to fill them up until I know that everything's good and ready. But I've got two of these smaller propane tanks that I use for barbecue and things like that, and my indoor propane fireplace. So I hooked these guys up today and made sure that they were in place. They're going to provide my test propane to energize the system. A couple of things that I want to share with you that I had to do. First thing that I did was I added that propane detector back there. Let me get a light and shine on it so you can see it more fully. Oh, I don't want the light to glare it out, but that zero and that green light means that it is working and it is operating as it is expected to be. So one of the first things that I need to do based on the instructions for the device is I need to make sure that it's actually going to alarm if there is propane. So the first thing that I need to do in this test is to use this torch lighter and actually get some propane out of it and see if it goes off. There we go. We got an alarm. We got propane out of that torch. So that makes me happy. That means that if there is a propane leak in this compartment, that alarm is going to go off. So I have two more detectors that I want to show you that I want to test, and then we'll start turning on some propane. So let's go inside for a second. Alright, so I pulled my stove out. I have my propane detector installed behind it. I'll show you that in a second. But I've got it ready to rock and roll and give me some tests and see if I can get this thing to ignite. One of the things that I do want to share is I got both of my max air fans on. I turned on all my lights in advance of trying to interject propane in here. No sparks, no issues, no challenges, no explosions. So we'll see what happens. So let me show you the propane detector that I have for the stove. Close that down a little bit. There it is right there. I've got a zero and a green light, so it means it's working. Next step in the process is to actually test and make sure that thing is going to an alarm. So get my torch lighter, come in under here, here we go. got an alarm. So that one's working as well. So let's move down to the hot water heater. Let me show you what I got going on there. Here we are at the hot water heater. There is my propane detector for the hot water heater. I've got it centered pretty much in the middle of all of these connections and stuff. Propane is heavier in air, so it's going to drop, so I try to get it as close to the floor as possible so that it would pick up as soon as possible. This blue wire right here is the one that goes through the floor and goes in and provides power to the propane detector inside my propane tank. With that said, let's test this one and see if we can get it to alarm. Here we go. We have an alarm condition on that one as well. Cool. So I know that all three of my propane detectors are working. That is one safety factor that I needed to make absolutely sure was in place before I turn on any propane into the system. The other thing I want to verify is that my valve, this going to the stove, is off. This valve going to the hot water heater is off. So when I energize those tanks down there, propane is going to stop at this point and at this point. So these connections right here and those underneath will be the ones that are going to be tested first. Once I get those validated and make sure there's no leaks, my next step will be to turn this one on and run up to the stove, get the air out of the lines and get the stove to ignite. Once I get the stove to ignite, then I'll come over here and turn this on, get air out of the lines going into the hot water heater. I'll apply power at that point to the hot water heater, and we'll see if we can get some hot running water in this bus. So hopefully we have no leaks. Hopefully everything is good to go, and this is going to be quick and I'll be able to walk right through it. So at this point I think we're going to go back outside and we're going to charge the system. So let's go do it. All right, here we are back outside. This is the moment of truth, guys. This is the part that's scary for me. I do have a solution bottle, leak detection fluid, basically water and dish soap. So there's my leak detection fluid. We'll see if we got any leaks down here. My valve right now is set to automatic. It will choose which one has propane. Right now it's red on both sides. Actually, it's just red. I've never actually tested this before, so I have no idea what is actually going to happen. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn one tank off and see what happens, or one tank on and see what happens, and then turn that one off and turn the other one on and see what happens. I have no idea. So that said, I'm going to get my leak detection fluid ready, and I am going to turn on the propane tank. Look at that, red went away. I've got pressure into the system. I've got propane going in. Oops, sorry about that. Knocked my camera over. So, leak detection fluid. Turn the valve so it'll actually come out. Alright, leak detection fluid. Nothing there. I do not seem to have any leaks on it. I am so sorry, guys. Again, I knocked down the camera. I'm more concerned about leaks than I am this damn camera. I'll tell you that right now. Leak detection fluid right here. No leaks. Alright, so we're in good shape under here. I do not have any leaks that I can find anywhere underneath in any of my connections. If I did, you would see all kind of bubbles popping, and I don't see any bubbles popping. I'll come back in tomorrow and clean up all that soap off everything, but we have no leaks. Alright, so now I'm going to turn on the other propane tank. No change there. Turn this one off. No change. So I still have propane into the system coming from either tank, so I'm going to turn both of them on. They are both on right now. Just for sanity, I want to check my fittings up here. I don't have any leaks that I can see up here as well. So at this point, I am good. Underneath the bus in my outside compartment, I have no leaks. Let's go inside. All right, here we are inside. We're ready to rock and roll and test this thing. I'm going to focus on all the connections that have propane pressure on them, which is right here, right there, and right here. I see no bubbles, I see no issues, I see no leaks. I am really happy right now, guys. So at this particular stage, it looks like we're ready to put propane to the stove. One of the things I want to share when I put propane to the stove, when I actually turn the burners on, I'm going to use my torch lighter and keep an open flame, so that as soon as propane starts coming out of the burners, it ignites, rather than trying to wait for basically best guess estimate to click the igniter at the right time to light the propane. I don't want to put any propane in the atmosphere of this bus. So I'm really happy. I don't see any leaks. I'm letting this sit, I'm watching it, I don't see anything. So at this point, let's turn this on. I really gotta all right. Why can't I turn that valve? There we go. It was stuck. I had it closed tight. All right, at this point, I have propane going up to the stove. Let's go do a leak check up there. Primary point for a leak check up here is right here. Oh, look at that. My alarm went off and I have a leak. All right, let me turn that off and see what I can do to get it fixed. But that is why I put those in there. All right, guys, here I am. I've got some light on the subject, and I've got my wrenches in here, and I'm trying to get them set up, and I'm going to try to tighten this down. And holy cow, that was really loose. That's my oversight. I did not tighten this down. That's why it was leaking. This was not tight at all. Holy cow. That's why we do this. Found another issue, another connection that I didn't tighten up, and it revealed itself. None of these connections are tight. I really screwed this up, guys. I forgot that I did this as a temporary install, and I did not tighten anything down, so let's make sure that everything is good to go. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. Alright, I think I've got everything tight now. I think I should be in good shape so I don't have any leaks. I'm going to spray everything down. There's no pressure left in the line, so I'm going to have to turn the propane back on to see if I still have any leaks. So let's see what happens. Tighten everything down. No bubbles, no leaks, no alarms. I'm happy. So let's see if we can light some burners. Alright, here we are. I tried to get the, I had an issue trying to get the camera to stabilize and get in the right position so you can see all three burners. So the first thing that I'm going to do is try to ignite this front burner right here, which is the furthest from the propane input. Based on the front panel, that's this one. So I'm going to light my torch, turn it on. I've got air coming out of the burner. Boom! Look at that, y'all. I got fire. Alright, so now I am going to go to the back burner, which is the next furthest away. Look at that. I got fire, y'all. Now I'm going to go to this one. Look at that. I got a stove, y'all. Holy cow. Now, I'm going to turn these off. Next thing I want to do, because I used my little torch there, but I am going to turn them on. Igniter works. Turn it on. Igniter works. Turn it on. Igniter works. Turn it off. Alright. The only thing left I have to do is get the air out of the lines going into the oven. So let's see what kind of surprises I got waiting for me in there. Alright guys, this is going to be really hard to see until I get this thing light, but this metal tab right here, this is the actual oven burner. It runs along the back of the oven right through there. So I am going to turn the oven on. I am going to put my, maybe I don't have it on enough. Don't seem to be getting anything out of there. I may not have it on right, so let's see what I got to do. I think I may have to hold that button down. So I'm going to see what I can do to get this camera in some sort of a position where it might be able to see what's going on under there. And I'm going to try something different. I'm not getting anything, guys. I don't know what's going on here. Actually, I do see my pilot. There we go. Alright, so here's what you gotta do. You push it in, you make sure the pilot light lights, and then you release it and turn the gas on and the burner lights. I don't know if you see it. Let me see if I can move this camera and get you a visual. I have heat in the oven. I have propane running through it. So I'm going to turn that off. There we have it, guys. Alright, so that takes care of the stove. I've got all three burners and I've got the oven lit. Next phase is getting hot water running on this bus. So I'm going to have to do a two-step process. The first thing I'm going to do is turn on the propane. I don't like these wires getting in the way. I'm going to have to fix that. It's problematic for me. I'll take care of that and get that sorted out, but I just don't like them in the way because I'm going to be spraying liquid on electrical connections and I don't want to do that. So I'll just hold them out of the way. So at this point I'm going to turn on the propane to the hot water heater. Propane is on. Leak detection fluid. I got no bubbles. Everything's solid, everything's clean, at least on the hot water heater side. Let me come over here. Got no bubbles, got no leaks. I got no alarms. So what I need to do right now is I need to go outside. I need to turn on the hot water heater because I turned it off. If you remember previously, I said that once I put water pressure onto the hot water heater, it was erroring out, so I had to disconnect power. I went inside today when I was redoing all the wiring in here and actually turned off the hot water heater power switch. So right now I am going to go turn that back on. So let's go take a walk and let me show you how that works. All right, so here we are at the hot water heater. There's that switch I was telling you about. I turned that switch off earlier as I was doing all that wiring work. Honestly, I don't know of anything that I can do other than turn this thing on, turn water on, and see if it works. So that's what I'm going to do. Turn it on. If I'm not mistaken, in a second, this thing should initiate a blower. Trying to get propane to the igniters and register that it actually has fuel. I don't need to stand out here. Let's go inside because I got the control panel. I can see everything that's going on, and we can actually turn on hot water and see what happens. So let's run inside. All right, here we are inside. This is the control panel for the hot water heater. I just checked again. We don't have any leaks, so let's turn this on. All right, it's on. Temperature set for 113. It's not airing out on me anymore. I'm assuming this means the water temperature is 69 and it's set. So I don't know. Let's go turn on some hot water and see what happens. I have the hot water in the vanity on. My water pump just kicked on. I'm not seeing any promising indications on the inside. Water is running through the hot water side, which means it's running through the hot water heater. It may be trying to get the air out of the line so it can ignite the burners. I'm going to go outside and see what's going on out there. All right, guys, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to do some research and figure out what I need to do to get hot water going. My hot water heater is not kicking in, so I don't know what's happening. I'm wasting water, so I'm going to shut the water off and go do some research. I'll be back. All right, guys, well, I'm at a loss. I have absolutely no error codes on my remote display for my tankless hot water heater. I've got fuel, I've got water. I have run my hot water supply through that thing for 30 minutes and no luck. The whole point to this was to test the propane system. The propane system works. The fact that the hot water heater is not working is a different subject, so I'll have to figure that out some other time. Right now this is showing that my current water temperature is 59 degrees, which is making sense because it's been really cold here. I really need to get this thing figured out because I got to get it working, because early next week we're supposed to get down into the 20s and I don't want everything freezing up, and especially the hot water heater. So I'm going to call it at this point. That's a wrap. Propane system works. There are no leaks. Everything is in place. I got my stove lit. I got my oven lit. The only thing I couldn't get lit was my hot water heater, and I'll figure that out, and that may be related to the hot water heater and not the propane system. So please like, please subscribe, tell me what you think, and as soon as I can figure this out, I'll get back to you and let you know what happened.